3, 2, 1.
E2 Performance.
Welcome back to another episode of E2 Performance. Today, by the way, this is our second take.
Because Eljay forgot to turn off the air conditioner again.
We're in Eric's house. Technically, it's his job. Anyways, we're talking
Whose
about...
podcast? You say this is our podcast. You share the responsibility.
It's my podcast.
Goodbye.
Our podcast. Goodbye. Talk to yourself there.
Some people do. I don't like solo host
What?
podcasts. I've listened to podcasts where it's just one person speaking and they're just kind of talking to themselves and just...
I think, I think that's, it's different when it's like a podcast. It's different when it's almost like talking about like a certain, like there's a few YouTubers that I follow and they talk about, let's say, CrossFit. So they like share the news of what they have. But again, I like CrossFit.
So I'm hosting my solo podcast and we're going to talk about CrossFit. Did you see that guy doing burpees earlier? Listen, he did one burpee and then he did another one. And then on the second one, I noticed he dropped a little real fast, but he got up even faster. And then on the fourth one, he slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then on the fifth one, well, he did 100.
That's right.
So
for time.
We just
it was
watched
411.
him.
Finished it at 411.
So dumb.
Touch. Your mic literally just dropped like so dumb.
Whoa. No, I love. I actually do. Like, I enjoy CrossFit, but I can't just watch it. But I'm like that with all sports.
Can't watch sports.
I don't like watching sports. I love playing them. Like I enjoy doing some CrossFit workauts with you. It's okay. I enjoy playing basketball, soccer. You asked me to watch basketball.
To each their own, you know.
I can't.
Can't play video games.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Some people love just watching people play video games. Video games is an e-sport. It's a sport, bro.
That's not even
a sport. Those are athletes.
I mean, they get paid more than us, so I guess...
They get paid more than a lot of athletes.
More than a lot of athletes. Depends on how they look.
But see, it is... We haven't talked about that, and I know we're going off on a tangent, but...
You think?
Video games, these kids who play, their hand-eye coordination is like top tier.
Like...
And if you talk about hand-eye coordination, that is a physical trait. That's a physical aspect. It's still top tier. It might not be athleticism, but for body, like...
I think it's more, hand, eye, and just the coordination in general.
Their brain is reacting to stimuli very quickly.
Faster than...
Actually, I was also listening to something these athletes talk about how professional athletes are just like athletic people in themselves, are geniuses. And they're saying things on like... Again, like, in order for the body to calculate, like, say, free throws, say just thinking 3 throws from the three-pointer line, to just consistently do that every single time requires, like, perfect stability, coordination, accuracy, like, mind-body connection, like... And that requires, like, your neurological system to output that out, right? Like, so it might not be book smarts, like calculating math equations, but it's a genius on a different level.
Different.
Anyways, we're talking about cheat meals. Good.
I want to go back to hand-eye coordination first.
Do it.
My little boy, Jace, and he plays Nintendo Switch, Harry Potter. Like, you can see everything, and he's just like,
oh man,
bam, bam, bam.
These little devices are melting brains.
Oh my god.
It's scary to me when you see like little 4-year-olds and stuff who are better with cell phones.
And he's so good.
And they like just take the iPad and they're just like,
yeah, not a cell phone, but the Nintendo Switch, because we bought them one.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. I can't even.
Yeah.
The speed of how he plays Harry Potter games. It's crazy. Anyways, cheat meals. Back to our topic.
Just 4 minutes of tangent. We really focused on this podcast. We got straight to the point. We just lock it down.
I've had one meal today and I have not worked out yet. See, we're not perfect, but we get things done.
We try. I'm going to work out after this, so.
Yeah, I got another client. Okay.
You're going to work after. Yeah, so back to cheat meals again. We're back on target.
Cheat meals. What is a cheat meal? What would you consider a cheat meal? I think I have my own little spin on this, but I want to know what your take on a cheat meal is. What is a cheat meal?
Well, we didn't even discuss this prior. For me, a cheat meal, I don't really have cheat meals. I've never had a cheat meal. Even when I counted macros, I never had cheat meals. I counted macros for probably 3 to 6 months where I was dedicated.
What is a cheat meal in general, I guess, then? Like I think when people talk about cheat meal, what is a cheat meal?
I think Gen Pop discusses cheat meals as like I'm going to eat, again, you can follow the 80-20 rule. People like 80% clean, 20% bad. That 20% is a cheat meal. But like, I almost feel like if you predefine a cheat meal, you go extra into it because you're like, this is my cheat, so I got to capitalize on this cheat meal. So like for me, if I have pizza on the weekend with Diane, I'll have like, honestly, I'll order a small size pizza and I'll eat half of it. I can eat more, but I don't need to eat more. I'm satisfied after 3 pieces. So I'll save the other pieces for lunch tomorrow. I'll be like, oh, leftovers tomorrow make my life easier. But I don't value that pizza as like, this is my cheat meal, so I got to gorge and get as much of it in me as possible.
Right now.
That's what I think when people have a cheat meal, when they're following a nutrition plan or diet, they're like, their cheat meal is like my gorge meal. Like it's like, oh, I'm going to cheat on Saturdays night, so I do pizza, ice cream, candy, like boom, 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 boom. That's cheat meal.
Okay, I think you basically just defined it then. That, it's a meal bigger than usual and things that you don't usually eat. And that, you already know it's bad for you. You already know it's bad for you. See, for me, I think we live in a society where there's an abundance of it. Like, everywhere you go, every street corner you go to, there's either a convenience store or there's like a fast food chain. Malls are full of it. Strip malls are full of like restaurants, whether that's Korean, Chinese, whatever, right? And I have this discussion with a lot of people because they ask me what my cheat meals are, and I have pretty much the same answer. I'm like, I don't really consider any meal a cheat meal. I'm just enjoying a couple other things that I don't usually eat. And when I say that, I do not order something and just eat it for myself. Like, I don't hide in my room and watch Netflix or play video games and then eat just that because I was craving it and I know it's bad. I feel like it's cheating myself, not on a physical level, but more the enjoyment of like having this meal with, let's say, friends and family, right? So when I have friends and family over, I feel like if I put barbecue chicken or we have a few beers or we have anything like ice cream and cake after that, I almost don't consider that a cheat meal. That's almost like it's a celebration more than cheating, right? So when they ask me what your cheat meals are, I pretty much don't have one. The only thing extra that I do would probably be the I don't think it's once a month. AJ's been forcing me to eat the ice cream in the freezer for however many days now, a couple weekends now, and it's still there.
Yeah.
Right? But if I'm going to indulge in something that I know is not good for me, first of all, I'm lactose intolerant. Ice cream it is for me. Right? But that's about it. But when you talk about cheat meals, I don't like that term, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, who you cheating?
So, yeah. When you're having a cheat meal, who are you cheating? Yeah.
Your future self is who you cheating. Cheating of feeling good, cheating of looking good, and, just...
I think when we say this too, again, because we talk about a bunch of topics that can be triggering for some people when we talk about this, it's not like we're calling you out, but we're just saying that like how you define it and how you view it could be causing more harm than good. So identifying it as a cheat meal. Honestly, for me, I do, like, again, we're not perfect. I have pizza. The pizza is like my favorite go-to meal. But for me, I don't classify it as a cheat meal. For me, it's a convenience meal. If I order pizza, it's normally out of convenience. As I like tonight, let's say I have a lot of editing to do on the podcast.
So you never crave pizza? Like, damn, I want pizza tonight.
I definitely do.
Okay.
And I will get it if I do it.
I got you.
I will.
Sure.
But most of the time, if I'm ordering pizza, it's more of like, I got a lot of work to do. I have no meal prep left over. And I don't want to cook tonight because I got a lot to do.
Gotcha.
And in my head, I'm like, and if I'm in the office here, if I order a pizza, I can work, go and get it, eat it right away while I'm working. And then like, it's more out of convenience or laziness from the past. Laziness that I didn't prepare properly, so I have to have pizza.
Or miscalculated a day that, oh man, I ran out of chicken now. There was only like 10 in there and I needed 12 or 14.
Yeah, so for me, most of the time, the fast food or the convenience food, it's more about like not being prepared for the week properly, and convenience is most of the time what I'd go for.
How often in a week do you cheat, Eric?
How often do you have a cheat meal? Honestly, probably once a week.
Yeah, again, we can say once a week. for us, it's planned. Like it's a planned meal for the family. That it's almost like every Saturday night, whatever the kids want. It's not even about what AJ and I want.
Yeah.
It's whatever the kids want.
Yeah.
What do you guys want? You guys want pizza? You guys want burgers, fries, hot dogs, whatever
Something
that is.
fun.
Something,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, do you guys want a little bit of ice cream? And that's after like a day's worth of like just activities for them and dead tired and
Yeah.
you know. But that's pretty much almost like a tradition at home. Like Saturday night is a night where I finish the leftovers, and then if there's no leftovers, like at this point we're pretty good in calculating. Like I know this food, this amount of meat and vegetables and rice or whatever will last me 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Like it's planned perfectly. But
Yeah, mine's definitely not planned. But again, so you do it, say, once a week. I do it.
pretty much regular for the last 4 years.
I would say I do it minimum once a week, maximum 3 or 4. And that 3 or 4 is more breakfast convenience. For a while there, I had more free time, and it was more along the lines of same thing. It was all about convenience. It was, I woke up and I want to take the dog to the dog park. Well, if I cook breakfast, that's going to be 20 minutes cooking, 20 minutes eating, then 20 minutes to clean everything. So that's an hour. Whereas if I just hit the road and order food, I can eat it while I'm driving. There's still
takes about 7 minutes to line up, order, pick up. Boom.
There's a significant difference in how I felt though every time I did that. I think a lot of people listening can vibe with that they're like, man, I wake up, I get dressed, I go into my car, drive to Timmy's, I get a breakfast sandwich or whatever breakfast food you're buying. It's so convenient and it's so easy. That's the whole kicker. So trying to find breakfast solutions, for me anyways, that are more convenient and like a little bit quicker. So something I did personally was I had a breakfast oatmeal mix that I was making, high in fats, like high in good fats and good fiber. Those healthy fats will keep you fuller and more sustained with like consistent energy throughout the day. So it was like hemp hearts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and oatmeal with some natural peanut butter. To create
Protein powder? No?
No protein. I just do eggs, like scrambled eggs.
Yep.
But to break down a barrier of convenience, what I would do is I got a bunch of Tupperware containers. I got 8 Tupperware containers, and I preloaded all of those 4 because I buy those seeds in separate bags. So I have 4 different bags of seeds.
Yeah.
I preloaded all the containers, so all I had to do was grab a container, fill it with water or oat milk, and put it in the microwave. Boom.
Done. It's done.
Even just that little barrier of entry, when you're trying to like recreate habits or build habits, anything that's an extra step can
almost derail you.
It can derail you.
Absolutely.
So I had to eliminate those steps, and one of those steps was isolating each of the seeds into a container so it was more accessible and easier, so I had less excuse. So when I did go to the dog park, I was like, oh man, I gotta make breakfast. Well, it's literally just pouring water in the thing and microwave it, and it's ready in 2 minutes, and it's clean energy. Maybe not cooking the eggs, let's say, but then you could do protein powder, you could put protein in it, right? Whatever you want to do. But that was clean energy that was quick. So for me, when I eat bad food, it's more about convenience. If me and you, though, again, I don't think we're good advocates for people who just love that food that tastes amazing. Pizza, beer, chicken, like, you know, that kind of fast food, what you would define as a cheat meal. I think a lot of people eat it out of convenience, but I think a lot of people eat it because it tastes good and they love it.
Salty, sweet, oily.
We know
what's not to love.
Yeah, we know that sugar is more addictive than a lot of drugs, and caffeine is more addictive. So
and it's legal.
With this salt, with the salt and the sugar and all this good food that tastes really good, it almost, I think, changes your palate to the point where, like regular food, it doesn't taste the same anymore. Because
like try and eat like a pepper or like have a bite of an apple. For me, like technically it is very sweet. I haven't had an apple for a while. This last few days I've been like training a little bit more, so I've been bringing snacks, and apple just tastes so sweet, but other people don't like it. Even some kids don't like it because they're so used to the Slurpee. They're so used to like the drumsticks, ice cream, and like their palates are like, it's almost like taste buds are messed up.
So if you're a person that loves those foods that you know probably aren't the best for you, and again, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. This is just our opinion. This is our advice. But my advice to you would be to go almost through a detox on that food for like 30 days, where you try to be as clean as possible. No more cheat meals, no more sugar, no more junk food. Go 30 days without it, and then try to have like your natural candy, grapes, cherries. Like grapes and cherries to me, that's my candy. Like I like playing video games at night. When I play video games, my go-to is like cherries and grapes. Cherries and grapes just so they're sweet and tart and all that jazz. Is natural sugar to me.
Yep.
So to kind of change your palate and change that, I think that would be my opinion on how to get away from that, aside from the convenience aspect, right? If you're like me and it's convenience, you need to eliminate more steps. But if you're a person that just loves that food because it's delicious, you might need a different strategy, one that and
if I can put another, let's say, not really an answer, but maybe a solution, a possible solution, is if you just take, it doesn't take that long, if we take 30 minutes out of a Friday, like a weekend almost, before you do your groceries, before you go anywhere, before you even buy fast food or whatever, I think planning would be huge. Because again, when you talk about convenience, okay, maybe I miscalculated, now I ran out of food, now I don't really have time to go to the store, and now I gotta, like, I have to eat something.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, there's no choice, I gotta go somewhere, right? Yeah. Planning, and this will be trial and error in the beginning for a while until you get it. Like, you would know how many people in your house, is it just you would get it at some point. But if you plan, just think, what kind of meals do I want? Do I want to eat the same food every time? Am I okay with that? If I'm not okay with that, how is this going to work for me? There's no one answer to how it's going to work for everyone, but what works for you is what works for you, but you got to figure that out. Right?
Yeah, the difference to me, I was thinking about this. We talked about it when you translate it to a car, for instance. If you buy a car, even if it was a used car, but you change the belts, you change the oil, you change all the fluids, and then you do regular maintenance where it's scheduled, it requires work to do that, to actually schedule it and monitor your maintenance and like change the fluids and all the things at the right times and the right intervals. Chances are that car is going to last you a long time, and it's going to be good to you. Whereas if you're a person who doesn't pay attention to your oil changes, you don't pay attention to the tires, you don't rotate them, you don't weigh it. Need a new car later. Something's going to happen. Yeah,
sooner or later.
If the tires aren't balanced, it's going to cause suspension issues, and it's going to break down. Same thing goes for your body. If it takes work to plan out that maintenance and that like consistent schedule. Yeah. Same thing for your body. If you take care of your body, if you actually make a plan for your meal prep, make a plan for your groceries, financially it's going to support you. Like nutritionally it's going to support you. But if you build that plan and you actually do it, yes, it's work, but it pays off and you feel better for it after. I feel way different after I eat clean for 2 days versus I've had days in the past even 3 months where I've done fast food 2 days in a row and I'm like, man, I feel like trash. Like I feel sluggish. I don't feel like I got energy.
Speaking of taking care of yourself, again, we always talk about it: food, water, exercise, sleep, sun, right? You take care. You can't buy another one of you. Okay? You can't buy another one of you. If you take care of you, your journey from point A to point B will be so much better. That I can promise you. You just got to take care of you.
People want to live like a long and happy life and experience all these good things that life has to offer as well. If your vehicle, like if your meat vehicle is not good for that journey, if you're like riding around in a broken down vehicle because you didn't take care of it, it's harder to enjoy those aspects of life. Versus if you actually take care of that vehicle, you can appreciate a more vast and more variety like of experiences.
Well, when you're healthy, pain-free, and have a higher level of fitness, every activity is fun.
And bro, you can be healthy and you can still eat that good food when you go on vacation. Like if I went to Asia.
You mean a cheat meal?
You can still eat cheat meals. Yeah, no, you can still eat that good food, but there's a difference. You utilize that good food, the bad food, the cheat meal, whatever you want to call it. You burn it off. You go to the gym, you bust ass, you work hard, you burn it off, and then you it's the the long-term effect of eating clean,
Mm-hmm.
you can
You
still
actually
enjoy it.
get to enjoy.
You can still enjoy it.
Well, not even that. I would even go as far as I believe that if people every day go to fast food or order from a restaurant, skip the dish, Uber Eats, whatever the case may be, I think they don't enjoy those food as much as if I was gonna eat it one time. Like they're so used to that taste and that oil and
standard,
that
yeah.
right. Like for me, if I order from somewhere and I pay good money for it, and then I eat it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my,
Actually,
that is so good.
because you've been talking about that, Diane and I've been making breakfast, and I don't know, bro. I'm gonna blame it not on me. It's not my fault. It's
Diane's fault.
It's the salt's fault. The salt pops out of the shaker too fast. So like when I salt my food, it's just been way too salty. And I told Diane, I was like, man, all of our food that we've been cooking lately is over salted, especially breakfast. You know, we salt the eggs, salt like the kale or the spinach and stuff. And I'm like, it's way too salty. I'm like, kill it. All of the salt, no more. Don't salt any of our food.
Really?
So we've been doing that for like 3 or 4 days.
Interesting.
I feel a difference in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you feel good?
I feel good. I feel better. I feel less dry all the time. But yeah, it's just the same thing going for sugar, right? Like,
I feel like my experience, but again, we have two different training styles. I'm pouring when I'm working out,
yeah.
right? So for me, everything I do, I intentionally put a little extra
Yeah.
of like a little extra of the salt, but I also consume so much water.
Yeah, and I consume a lot of water too, but bro, I'm just saying my food was over. Like when you ate the eggs, you were eating salt.
Oh yeah,
It was like,
I think there's a yeah.
I'm saying it was overdone.
I don't think I've ever gotten to that point.
Yeah, it was overdone, not on purpose, not because I'm like this is delicious, but I would just go crack, crack, and it was just always too much.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it's time for us to wrap this up. Cheat meals, a couple of ways to avoid it. Make sure you plan your week. And again, instead of enjoying, if you think you're enjoying food by yourself, try spending time with people and actually have good food and good drinks. that's not just good for your palate, but that's also good for your soul. So
yeah, for me, this is just more of how you identify and look at these cheat meals, like how your relationship with food. I think we've spoken about that. Your relationship with food, it actually matters whether you're viewing food as this delicious treat where it's like I had a bad day, so I need to reward myself to feel better.
Yeah.
Or you having food to fuel yourself and also take care of your body and just feel good. I feel way better if I have, again, fruit over chips.
I like chips sometimes too.
I like chips too, bro. I had some chips last night.
Good balance. You know, just good balance. Anyways, if you guys want to hit us up with your favorite cheat meal or have any recommendations for restaurants, hit us up. Eat to perform.
Oh my God, we've been doing this for a year.
This is Eric's area.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to know where's the best food in the city, or what do you enjoy when you're by yourself or with family? Give me some ideas.
So you can hit us up on Instagram. You got Eljay Lopez
4.
Is Eljay Lopez 4? Okay, I'm at Eric.Berge. Anyways, our email is e2perform@gmail.com. You can hit us up with any questions, comments, concerns. If you want to add to the conversation, we'll discuss it if you send us something.
Yeah.
Until then, subscribe to the podcast, share it. We love you guys.
Watch us on YouTube too. It's on video.
That's why I turned my chair this way. See, if you're watching the video,
and we didn't even talk about this. Like, you didn't even tell me that you were doing it.
I didn't even invite Eljay to turn his chair because I wanted all the attention.
In my own podcast.
Eljay's over here like this. That's my podcast.
Here's my podcast.
Here we go. E2 Performance. Goodbye, everyone.
Not bad. Next time.